In this section, we're going to talk about associating your columns and your data files to columns within the application. It's not going to be a lot to do, but it's an important step and a required step. So let's go ahead and log into your application. And let's go to our familiar campaign. We already talked about the Details tab and the data in there. The data file we talked about, and that only one can be active at a time. And now we're going to talk about data columns. Let's just talk about the grid for a minute. So the grid has certain features. One of them is on the lower right, this little button, that's a refresh button. You're able to refresh the grid at any time. Columns, menus, you're able to select if you want to see, hide a particular column or not. You can also do filtering. But for the data columns, you won't be really needing any of that. But it's important to know. So you got data files. You got an active data file. We need to associate the columns in that Excel file with columns within our application. So one way that we do that is we import the spreadsheet and its columns right here so we can associate and change the formatting. So the lower right of the screen, you'll see an import button. Click on it. This dialog basically tells you that if you proceed, it's going to delete any existing column mappings. And if you're sure you want to do this. This is a new campaign, so press yes. And this dialog says success, and make sure you go through and edit any of the rows in the grid that might need additional formatting. So let's go talk about that. So this column, Excel column, is all the columns within your data file, and they are the Excel columns. The recipients column is with our columns within our application that we're going to map. Preferred name in the application is going to be saved into column 3, and the data type is pretty explanatory. What we identified as the type of data for that Excel column, and if there's any formatting associated. So most of these we don't care about the formatting. Employee ID, last name, first name, their text. There's going to be no formatting involved, and if there is, we're going to do it within the template. Same with email address, job title, seniority date. We saw as it being a date, but we want to change the formatting of how it's going to look in the grid and the template. So let's go ahead and click Edit. As you see, the whole row becomes editable. And under the formatting column, let's go ahead and pull down. We're going to change this format just for the demonstration purpose to be Jan 26, 2014 as an example. Make sure you press the update button. And let's go through salary. Same situation. It's an unformatted number. Well, we want that as currency. So let's go look for formats for a number, and we want a number with no decimals. Press the update, and for the percentage. Again, it's a number, but we want a percent sign. So since they may get like a 2.5%, we want a decimal. And for salary, again, another number, but it's unformatted. And for this purpose, we're going to show a decimal after, but it's still a currency. Press the update. And full-time is a number, but we want a percent sign after it. We don't care about decimals on this one. Press update. And that completes the setting up the formatting and importing of columns from our spreadsheet. Pretty easy. In your templates that we'll be creating, these names will be used as your merge fields. So it's important to understand that. And we'll talk about that next. So let's go ahead and save. And we're back to the main screen. And since we're done with this section, we're going to go ahead and log out. And you're back to login screen. Next, we'll talk about templates. And it's probably going to be a little longer module, but kind of key to the whole application.